What is coding? Coding is the process of assigning a code to something for the purposes of classification or identification. The most basic form of coding is HTML, which is used to code almost any web page you've ever visited. Why isn't there more of an effort in the United States?
Coding is the power of our digital world. If without coding, we wouldn't have technology. It tells our computer we want it to do and how we want it to do it. It's important to know coding because without it, we wouldn't understand our computers and how to use them. And with the advances in our technology in the future, it is really important to know a basic knowledge of coding.
Why isn't coding prioritized? In high schools across America, coding is not that important. Computer science classes usually have boring curricula, lack qualified teachers, and they usually don't even count towards graduation. But why is this? Most people feel like it's not needed and that not everyone needs to become a programmer. It's just not necessary.
Coding is extremely important in everyday life. It is not the code itself that's important, but the way of thinking that comes naturally from learning the code. This type of thinking breaks up big projects and divvies them up into tinier ones. This is important because bigger problems seem smaller and more manageable. Like, take last night, for example. I was loaded with homework. So instead of looking like I had 5 assignments to do, I made myself view it as having like 10 mini projects. And in between each project, I would reward myself by giving myself like a 10-minute break. This eased the stress I was going through and divided up my homework into more manageable slots. Another example is cooking. Like, first you take out the ingredients, and then you defrost the ingredients, then you season it, then you preheat the oven, so on and so forth. And these simple steps make cooking sound easy, but they were made easy by dividing the steps. Most kids do not learn this type of thinking, and imagine what we could do if all children grew up like this. Our problems would practically disappear.
Technology is a part of our everyday lives. As kids, we were not taught to use computers to the extent that we have known today. It is important for us to keep educating students on the use of technology as it is advancing from day to day. Our generation knows how to use computers and code, but it is going to be up to our next generation to really fulfill that need. And as technology keeps advancing, we need to keep educating students so that they know what is going to be happening in the future. As you see in our older generation, they are not as tech savvy as we are, and that's going to happen as much as we get older. The newer generation is going to know so much more than we are, and it is important that we educate them on how to code, on how to use script, on how to use different things, so that when it is their turn to take over our spot, they know how to do what we're doing, and also the extra stuff that is now added. And it is important, it's not that they need to have a 100% understanding, is that they need to know how to use it and what it is and understand it enough so that they can use it in their everyday lives.
In Javant, you will see almost everyone using the laptops to do their schoolwork. Growing up, we used to only use pen and paper. As technology has advanced and developed, our laptops are just more efficient to use, and if you see someone writing something down, usually they're taking notes off their laptop or still doing some kind of homework with their laptop. A lot of people also use online textbooks for their classes because it's just cheaper and just as efficient as using a hard copy of the textbook. All over campus, students are using their laptops for school rather than pen and paper.
Earlier today, I got a pretty bad headache. Looking at front of computer screens usually makes it worse. I had a good amount of homework to do, but was unable to because it was all online. Most of my textbooks are online. I have to submit my homework through online websites, and articles I have to read for class are online. I didn't think about how big a role technology played in my schoolwork until that moment when I couldn't use it. I don't even think I could survive as a college student without my laptop. But how did we get to this point where technology has become a necessity to graduate? If technology is this important, then why isn't learning about code just as important?